Assalamu alaikum, dear friends. How are you? I welcome you here on my training channel. My name is Abdul Khalik. Look, dear friends, all of us, all of us want to develop, to prosper, to become a happy person, to be called a successful person in the life. And now all of that is our right. But despite all that, there aren't many. There are many actually who fail to attain all that, but they could have achieved. They fail to become what they could have become. They fail to reach where they should have reached. So, what is the reason? The reason behind all that is lacking the capability. The capability because they did not develop their capabilities at all. They remain stagnant. Rather, they kept regressing as well in many of the cases. So, my dear friends, if at all I or you are ambitious person, if at all we want to achieve something big, obviously we need to develop ourselves because we ourselves are our own basic, we ourselves are our own basic resource. Nothing is as important, nothing is essential or vital as far personal development is concerned, because this personal development will help us a lot. Rather, it will not be wrong at all. If at all I say, it will ensure the kind of success we are looking for. We will be able to achieve whatever we wanted to achieve. So today we have made it a topic of our discussion, and once we are looking upon the matter, the content on personal development, we came across certain things, and these certain things are actually nine in number. So, the nine of these things are extremely important if at all we want to develop ourselves, if at all we want a personal development. Because once we do develop personally, we will be able to develop in every sense as well. So, my dear friends and fellows, I think that we need to do it as for the personal development is concerned. It must be one of the priorities, or maybe it must be the number one priority. Now let's look upon all of those nine things which will be of great help if at all we want to develop personally. First of all, it is there are certain skills. The first of all, it is the skill number one is developing a growth mindset. What is cultivating a growth mindset? What is this growth mindset, by the way? There are two types of mindsets. One is the static mindset, the other is the growth mindset. As far the static mindset is concerned, static mindset says that we can't develop and prosper, we will remain stagnant, or maybe we will be regressing because of the age or certain other reason. While the growth mindset says that yes, I can develop, I can prosper, I can achieve whatever I want to by developing myself, by developing personally. I can raise my capability, my intelligence, my talents and capabilities. I can develop myself a lot, and on the basis of that personal development, I can become whatever I want to. I can achieve whatever I want to. So the first thing is the growth mindset. We need to understand that it is the growth mindset and not the fixed mindset at all. Now, the second is that the second skill which we need to learn for the sake of personal development is talking like an entrepreneur, thinking like an entrepreneur, thinking like an entrepreneur. It is really it's about adopting proactive, resourceful, and resilient approach to challenges and opportunities. So it is innovation and creativity, new solutions, out of the box thinking. And now it is the adaptability and flexibility, risk management, and risk management, risk assessment and management. So that is thinking like an entrepreneur. This is the second skill, thinking like an entrepreneur. Now the third skill which we need to learn is that is managing stress and cultivating calmness. We need to manage stress because stress gets generated, but we need to learn how to manage it. Managing the stress and the cultivating the calmness, because we can produce the good quality work. We can develop ourselves only if at all we are calm, if at all we are able to manage our stress level, and if at all we are unable to manage our stress level, what is going to happen then? Maybe we will be lost, we will be regressing and unable to move forward at all. So it is the say the and it is the third skill which we need to learn is managing stress and cultivating calmness. The fourth skill which we need to learn is that is cultivating a positive mindset. There was a growth mindset, this is the positive mindset. What the positive mindset says, it recognize negative thoughts and reframe them, convert them into the positive thought. The first one is recognize and reframe negative thought. Now proactive, now practice the gratitude. If at all we want to develop the positive mindset, the top thing which we need to learn is that we need to be grateful or criticize minimum, complain minimum, but you know practice the gratitude. Since we have been gifted and given with certain very very important thing by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Although we are not possessing everything, but still we are possessing a lot. Usually the people are seen taking all that for granted, and usually the people feel the importance of all that once they lose it. So I think prior to losing it, we need to learn, we need to understand how important it is, and that is we need to become grateful. Now the people will say, many of the people say that since there are many troubles and problems in my life, okay, indeed there are, but we need to learn certain things. There are people in the world today, they are having much more problems as compared to the one in your and my life. Maybe they will be having far difficult problems and trouble. So keeping in view all but the troubles and the problems they people are facing, my problems and my trouble will be very little. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has protected me from many of the other problems as well. So this is, my dear friends and fellows, what we need to understand. We need to develop the positive mindset. So that is the skill number 4. Now the skill number 5 says mastering digital detox. Mastering the digital detox. What is this digital detox? Acknowledge the impact. Be setting clear boundaries about how much the telephone and the smartphone or the computer I am going to use it, how much of the digital devices I am going to use it. I think there must be a time zone where we shall not be using these gadgets at all. Scheduling digital free time, prioritizing face to face interaction, prioritizing face to face interaction. And now it does not mean that we could not avail the digital facility at all. We do have to. That is unavoidable. But there must be whatever wherever we can go without this digital devices. I think we should try to do all that. It will improve it will be having a lot of positive impact upon our personality. Now the sixth skill which we need to learn is that is develop resilience. What is this resilience, by the way? It is, ability to recover quickly and bounce back after the failure, after the difficulty, after the setback, after feelings of inadequacy. I think we need to cultivate the resilience. Now the next is the seventh skill which we need to learn is practicing mindfulness. Practicing mindfulness. We need to practice the mindfulness. What is this mindfulness, by the way? It is the ability to focus and to concentrate upon our present, not to dwell in the past at all. Although we need to reflect back, although we need to learn whatever important lessons we can, but at the same time, I think we should not be dwelling in the past at all. It should be taken, the past mistakes should be taken as the learning experiences and nothing beyond that at all. No need to have so many of the regrets about the past life. So this is developing that is practicing mindfulness. Now the skill number 8 which we need to learn is that is prioritizing health and wellness. Prioritizing health and wellness. Health is wealth. Health is biggest of all the wealth. So I think it should not be left as a second priority. Not to talk of putting it in the back burner. I think we cannot afford to make it even. We cannot afford to make it even a second priority. So as for the health is concerned, health health be taken as a number one priority, and the well-being mean it is our own welfare. The well-being must be taken as a number one priority. Now the ninth and the last skill which we need to learn is for the sake of personal development. It is lifelong learning and personal growth. Understand one thing, please, that as for the everybody who is growing here in this world, they must be learning more and more and more. What we need to learn, whatever is needed, whatever is more applicable in my life, in your life. But the learning and the growth, the two of these things are interconnected. Nobody can ever grow constantly. They may come across a growth period occasionally, but not in the long term. Those people who are constantly growing, they people are always learning. Learning is their favorite hobby. So let's have a very quick revision of all of those nine things. First of all, it is the first skill which we need to learn is that is developing a growth mindset. The growth mindset. Yes, I can improve. I can become more intelligent. I can become more capable. I can become more talented. I can become more skilled. So that is the developing growth mindset. And I am doing it. I am doing it. Now the second skill which we need to learn is thinking like an entrepreneur. Mean like a businessman. Think like a businessman. Think like an entrepreneur. That is that is proactive. That it's about adopting proactive, resourceful, and resilient approach to challenges and opportunities. Now the third skill which we need to learn is that is managing stress and cultivating calmness. Yes, managing stress and cultivating calmness. The fourth skill which I and you need to learn is that is cultivating a positive mindset. Earlier we spoke about the growth mindset. Here we are talking about the positive mindset. The positive mindset mean it has several things, but the most important of all that, it is the practicing gratitude. What is this practice of the gratitude? It is like minimizing it. What is the practice of gratitude? It is minimizing the complaints, minimizing the criticism, and maximizing the gratefulness. We need to become grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because we have been given and gifted with so many of the things which are very, very important. But unfortunately, many of the people take them for granted. I shall not be taking all that for granted. What does happen, that the people feel the importance of it once they lose it. I think that is very pitiful situation at all. So we need to become grateful to whatever we have been given and gifted with by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before it is gone, because there are many, many people in the world today, they are not having whatever we have in the same manner. Although there are certain problems in my life which are disturbing, which are distracting, which are uncomfortable and unpleasant, but at the same time, There are plenty and plenty of other problems which many of the people in the world are suffering today. But I have been given, I have been made free of all that by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So for that reason, I need to become a grateful person, grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, grateful to my parents, grateful to all the people who have done even a very little amount of good thing with us, grateful to those people who didn't try to do the bad thing with us. So we need to develop the gratitude. So that is, that is the that is the positive mindset. Now the fifth skill, that is mastering digital detox. We need to spend wherever we can live without this digital devices. We need to do that, and it is prefer the face to face meeting, face to face interaction. So I don't see that we need to totally eradicate it out of our life, which is not possible. But right, let's try to contain it. Let's develop certain boundaries, and setting the boundaries on the one hand, and then of enforcing those boundaries as for this use of the digital devices is concerned. That is very important. Now the sixth is developing resilience. What is this developing resilience? Resilience, once we fail, once we fell, once we fall, once we are feeling inadequate, once there are troubles in the life. So I think we should be able to withstand, and we should be able to bounce back. Being able to withstand, being able to bounce back as for the toughness, the difficulty, the challenges of the life is concerned. So we need to develop the resilience. Now the seventh thing, the seventh skill which I and you need to learn is that is practicing mindfulness. We need to practice the mindfulness. What is this mindfulness? Not to remain stuck in the past, not to keep worrying in the future about the future. Learn whatever we can out of our past experiences, and that's all. Nothing more than that about the past. We don't have to dwell in the past. Past is a learning experience, and nothing beyond that at all. As for the future, we need to plan, but we need to stop worrying. We need to focus on the present moment. That is called practicing the mindfulness. Now, the eighth skill which we need to learn is that is prioritizing health and well-being. Health is the wealth, and health is biggest of all the wealth. So why to take it for granted? Why not to give it a priority? Why not to make it the number one priority? Because the health is biggest of all the wealth. So I think prioritize the health and the well-being. And now the ninth and the last skill which we need to learn is that is lifelong learning and personal growth. Please understand one thing: everybody who is growing on a constant basis, they are learning, learning. They keep learning throughout their life. That is how they succeed in developing on a consistent basis, in improving, in getting better and better on a consistent basis. If at all I or you, if at all we want to develop and prosper, so it should be a priority that I need to learn, because learning and growth, these are interconnected. And I think we must keep learning. That is what Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, that learn from, seek knowledge from cradle to grave. So we need to get the information, we need to get the knowledge, we need to get the wisdom, we need to learn the skills. So that is, we need to keep learning. Whatever can bring improvement in my life, I need to learn it. I need to learn and adopt and practice those skills. So these are the nine skills I think which are extremely important for the sake of personal development. If at all I or you, we want to develop personally, I think we need to pay attention, and we need to learn it. We need to understand. We need to practice it. That's all from me at the moment. Thank you.